to the next up. Welcome, welcome. It's time for us to talk about business, and every new developments actually should be expected this week from Rotus to your ears.
Yes, good morning,
Good morning.
everybody. Good morning, Valentine.
Good morning, Rotus. And Lagos, get to be part of the show. Send us a message on WhatsApp. Now, you should already save this number. It's 0809 444 0981. That's 0809 444 0981. We're live on YouTube, as we told you earlier. So go to youtube.com /smooth91 FM Lagos. The hashtag on Twitter is Business Express 981.
All right. And
good morning, Ugo.
1,603 points is where we closed. Still, we're down 4.2% for the year. Our top gainer was Wema Bank. We're going to discuss them today. Up by 9.6% on Friday. First Aluminum was the top loser, down by 9.7%. Ugo Dre, we begin with half-year results from Dangote Cement. I'm sorry to the people who there's some people who say this is now the Dangote show, but hey, it's what it is, with what's been going on, his plants and everything like that. But anyway, half year results, Ugo Dre, looking at Dangote Cement and their performance, what did you think?
All right. Before we go into Dangote Cement, let me just address some of those guys who like buzz me and say, "Look, what's happening in the market? Stocks are going down.
All right.
What's going on? We're scared."
Please go ahead.
Fundamentally, a lot of the companies out there are still okay and still sound, at least balance sheet wide and profit and loss wise. What we're seeing now is the major market sell-off. So a lot of foreign investors are pulling out funds and are also not buying as much as they used to buy. So our market still relies on foreign investments to actually grow a foreign portfolio investment.
Right.
And then when they start to pull out, the local portfolio investors as well pull out as well. They also start to, they taper down their own investments. So it's a demand and supply play out there. Now, it also creates an opportunity. It means that there are probably cheap stocks out there that you can buy. You have to time them very well. It's unlikely that this will stop anytime soon.
Okay.
We might continue to see this kind of bump and bumps down the road. So, but be resilient as fundamental investors. When you see a stock that you really like that has a very good price, a very good value, just buy it and keep it. The market will always catch up like it did last year for people who made money.
All right, good
all right.
stuff.
So to Dangote, blistering results as usual. This guy's been doing this for 6-7 years.
Right.
I was going through my research notes over the weekend as I was preparing for my corporate stories. Now I have a corporate story.
On Nairametrics. That's right.
It's incredible how if you look back to 2001 when he was trying to get BCC to buy BCC and all the issues that he went through with the government and look at where Dangote Cement is today. Not like this is Dangote show though. But then if you look at his numbers, volumes actually went up and revenues that we are seeing this quarter was actually mostly because of volume upticks.
Okay.
Cement volumes went up quarter on quarter, year on year, as in the last 3 months, from about 5,247 metric tons to 5,678 metric tons.
Okay.
Prices, I think, was flat. I was speaking to a CFO of a rival cement company as well over the week, and he was telling me that basically what Dangote did was basically to just level up prices all through products. So by having a flat price, that kind of pushed the market. Everybody just went down as well. So he basically controls price up and down.
That's how oligopolies work,
exactly,
right?
Exactly. So with volumes going up, prices down, he still maintains the same level of profitability and revenue growth. So revenue growth is still as good as it was last time, and it's likely to continue to look better. Price at the share price of about 234, up 2%. The market liked it. Even though they didn't like it that much, but at least 2% up wasn't that bad for a stock that is priced at 234 naira. Outlook still looks good for the stock. Dangote Cement is always a performer. Dividend is for sure at the end of the year. This is probably a stock that might hit 260, 270 by the end of the year. So it's one that you need to put on your watch list as time goes on.
Okay, so again, despite all the Dangote show talk, still you can, whatever you feel about the dominance of the company and the man, you can still participate in this. In the shares, right?
The man owns 30% of his companies are valued about 30% of their about of market capitalization. So
he almost moves the entire market. All right, good stuff. All right, we move on to again the famous the usual disclaimer before purchasing any stocks or selling. Do your own due diligence and so on and so forth, of course, as usual. All right, we also move on to Unilever. Their Q2 results for 2018. I'm showing that sales were up by almost 10%. What do you think? Decent results?
Yeah, decent result as well. Volume driven as well. From what we gather, prices remain relatively flat. In fact, for most FMCGs and conglomerates like Unilever, who do household products, prices have actually been flat over the last year. Since they made that increase between 2016 and 2017, there's been flat. So volumes have actually been going up. These guys have been spending immensely on marketing. Nigerians are also demand for products that increase. Nigerians, people have a lot more disposable income than they did a year ago. So that's why you're seeing all these volume upticks, and this is filtering into revenues. It's incredible how this company, also like Nestle as well, continue to grow revenues year on year, especially when you compare them to smaller Nigerian companies that you expect to be more nimble. And despite the kind of competition you have in the market today, they still continue to grow year on year, which is quite remarkable. Unilever is probably priced out of the reach of a lot of Nigerians.
Right.
I think the last time I checked, the price earnings ratio is probably 38 or so at the time of what it is now. Yeah, so it's priced out completely. But that's how Unilever and stocks like this are priced. Foreign investors actually see them. Actually, like to price them that high. So they usually price the likes of Unilever, PZ, Nestle. They benchmark them across other Unilever, Nestle, and PZ companies across West Africa or even emerging markets in Asia as well. So if you go and look at their price and ratio, it's usually around the same range. So, but then with this kind of results, I mean, you can understand why they are priced this way. I mean, profit after tax up 38% year on year. I mean, that's just incredible.
So is it a stock that you are looking at at any time?
Yeah, well, like I said, it's usually priced out. I mean, it's probably a stock that I would want to own. I mean, the opportunity to own this stock was probably, would I say, a year ago. When market was down, that would have been an opportunity to own it. But then still priced a little bit out of my range in terms of price earnings ratio.
All right, good stuff. Shegun of ARM is with us. Shegun, good morning to you.
Good morning, Lagos.
Welcome. All right, we're moving into Ugo Dre, a word on dividends. As far as why folks should be buying some of these companies. We're looking at Nairametrics as an article. You guys have been doing this. You've been tracking dividend payers for quite a while now, and we're looking at some stocks that are paying out dividends this week. I just wanted to go through the names between you and Shegun. Any thoughts on any of the particular names that are out there?
Well, from what I see here, they're mostly penny stocks. A lot of penny stocks are likely to pay either paying dividends or holding dividends during the week. If you're a retail investor and you probably own shares in the stocks, you gotta look. You need to check them out. Portland Paints, for example, are having their AGM on the 20th of July. I think they already had it on Friday.
Right.
So usually after AGMs, there's usually results on the line. Rack Unity, illusion company downstream sector, they're also having their own meeting. They also had their own. They qualify for dividend 20th of July. ABC, Unilever, Medview, Dangote Cement, all had corporate actions during the week. So it's important. I mean, a lot of for Nigerian investors, like abroad, the market reacts a lot to dividend.
Right.
So companies that pay dividends are the kind of companies that usually attract capital appreciation, which reverses the case if it's maybe in the US where they actually don't expect you to pay dividend. They actually expect you to buy back shares. But in Nigeria, you got to understand that the money is probably better with you than with the company because it's likely that if they pay you that dividend, you can actually reinvest that money at a higher yield compared to the kind of return on equity that company would get. So that's really that's really the difference. So whichever way you look at it, you want to ask yourself, who is better holding the money? Is it me or is it
the company? Yeah. Good stuff. Shegun, let's bring you in on the CBN Juan auction. I think that happened on Friday. Lagos, you all remember this? The one we're moving forward with that. The CBN had an auction, I believe, on Friday or Thursday.
They asked for bids from banks on Friday, so hopefully they are going to get the result today. So it's not been concluded on what the bid is actually going for. But essentially, if you're looking at that whole swap agreement, I don't think it actually makes a lot of help to Nigeria. Because if you look at what we did for only Q4, let me even go to Q4 2017. Our total import from China was about 450 billion naira, and the whole swap deal, if you convert it to naira, is about 720 billion naira. So that means we only cover for 2 quarters of of imports from China, and this is expected to extend over 3 years. So it's actually nothing much. So I think the expectation is that with this, the demand for dollars is actually going to be lower. But if you look at over 3 years, how much we CBN actually auction every quarter for them to be able to take the level of imports we are seeing from China. So we don't really think it's actually going to have an impact on demand for dollars.
Somebody on Twitter that was coming after me for that, saying I should be positive about the
in stocks or shares before. Please, I need to know where and how to begin, and what is the minimum or smallest amount I can start with.
Okay, sure.
Should I come for the money hard?
All right. Okay, good.
ARM, yeah, if you just look at our stock trade website, it's very easy. You can open your accounts very fast. It doesn't really take much time. And if you have your KYC form, I think you can get it done in 1 day.
And you guys can educate KC on where to start, minimums,
so
all that good stuff.
On average, if you can start with as low as 20,000, I'll be willing to help you, guide you, put you through what it actually takes for you to invest, give you stuff that you can actually invest in. It's
good
something
stuff.
we can.
So what's the difference between CP and stocks is what he's asking again.
I think that's commercial paper.
Commercial paper. That's
before you get into stocks, though, you got to try and get a bit of investor education. It's very important. You need to also ask yourself if you want to be a passive investor, if you want to be an active investor. Okay, so if you want to be a passive investor, maybe you probably don't need too much education. Just give somebody your money to manage for you. If you want to be an active investor, you gotta have a bit of investor education. I don't know. I'm gonna have a money hack again.
See, they do that. So ARM can help you. Nairametrics can also help you guys out. So you definitely, this is why you listen to Business Express. So
back-to-back messages here. Yinka says, now from the perceived Dangote show to Dangote running our lives, which we're practically getting into. Ugo just nailed our coffins by telling us he controls the price. Now, it's safe to say that when the refineries come alive, he will decide that the price of petrol, at least the federal government can save some money after reducing the workforce on DPR, Shibi.
Yinka, hold Dangote stock if you want to share in this dominance and share in the appreciation of the stock.
And an informer from Maryland says, good morning. You mentioned that a lot of people have more disposable income right now. They could shed more light on this as I thought this had shrunk. Thank you.
Well, Ugo Dre, do we have more disposable? It's a marginal thing, right?
It's better than it was 2 years ago. No question about that.
From the recession.
The macros actually show that, reflect that it's much better. Ask yourself, you probably can afford more things than you could 2 years ago. Yeah, definitely.
All right, real quick, we have to hop into this, Ugo Dre. The Sterling Bank.
The bank wars
on Twitter over the weekend.
So who do you think won?
I don't know. But yeah.
So in case you missed it on Twitter, Sterling Bank fired shots over the weekend, and they had this incredible.
Somebody said something about forefathers.
Yeah.
And elders.
So the very lovely caption. They had some of the Fugars in there and some other banks all embedded in the caption. And of course, the other banks won't let that slide.
They fired back, Abi.
First Bank fired back. It was
nice to see.
Who else?
Union Bank.
Union Bank as well.
Union Bank even Access.
Like 3 or 4 shots. But we haven't seen anything yet from GT Bank.
Right.
Bank,
so they're acting as the
I think they're playing cool. Like, okay, look, we don't want to get into this
fights like this.
But is it healthy? It's healthy.
It's healthy marketing. Abroad, elsewhere, it's cool to have things like that. But here we're not just used to it. So people are still wondering. But I think it was fun. It kind of made the weekend.
I liked it too, Valentine.
Yeah, it did. It was something to giggle about when I looked at it. But anyway, that's the much you can take.
I know, and we still have messages, guys. Please, no vex. I'll probably read your messages tomorrow. Okay, I'll probably do that. Shegun of ARM, thank you so much for joining us. Ugo Dre of Nairametrics, thank you so much for joining us, and thanks for your messages as well. Much appreciated.
Thank you so very much, Lagos. Coming up next, actually now we'll be giving you ways to enjoy more discounts. It seems to be a sales season. A lot of people are actually giving you very good options to make purchases. And then at 7:30, we'll come back with newspaper analysis inside of Freshly Pressed. It's Smooth 98.1. Good morning.
What happened? Traffic now.